from the beginning.
Good Monday afternoon, America. I'm Vanessa Broussard. Welcome to the Mike Lindell Show. We have team coverage of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to the White House today. Let's get it started right now. We go straight to White House correspondent Kara Castronova with details on the Prime Minister's visit. Kara, what can you tell us?
So that's happening right now, and it's being little clips of it are being released on Rapid Response. So there was one that I particularly thought was interesting about the tariffs and the trade deficit with Israel. So take a listen to this soundbite that just came out of the Oval Office.
I can tell you that I said to the president a very simple thing. We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do, and we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily, and I think Israel can serve as a model for many countries who ought to do the same. I recognize the position of the United States. It says, we're allowing other countries to put tariffs on us, but we don't put tariffs on them, and I'm a free trade champion, and free trade has to be fair trade. And I think that's basically the position that you have put forward, Mr. President. We are going to eliminate the tariffs, and rapidly.
Pretty big news today, President Trump doubling down.
So there you have it. That was Netanyahu and President Trump. One of the things they really had on the agenda today was to talk about trade, to talk about tariffs, and to also talk about Iran. Obviously, there's a lot of protesters here, and you could probably hear them in the background. I'm not sure if the mic is picking that up, but there are a lot of protesters outside the gate right now, and there's still that riot fencing that they had put up from a few days ago here, so they're not really able to get that close to the gates here. But like I mentioned earlier, the president really also, from what I understand, very interested in talking to the prime minister during this visit about Iran, and took some questions from the media as well. And here's another soundbite that was just released from the Oval Office about Iran.
We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can avoid it. But it's getting to be very dangerous territory. And hopefully those talks will be successful. And I think it would be in Iran's best interest if they are successful. We hope that's going to happen.
Responsible, generous, and wise offer.
So we're awaiting more information, obviously, to come out of the Oval Office. They're releasing clips on social media as we speak, and I believe that there's some stations out there that have that live feed going. But generally, I'll watch that from the briefing room, the live feed as it's coming out, and take my notes. But I'm out here with you, Vanessa, today, and I'll go back in there and update myself and see what else comes out of that press conference that they're doing right now in the Oval Office.
And we'll let you get back to that, Kara, but real quick, he did also speak on, there was fake news articles coming out today, this morning, saying that he is putting a pause on those tariffs, and he shot back and said, we're not looking at that. We're going to have one shot at this. No other president is going to do this. And he said that this is an honor to do it because we have just been destroyed. So he put an end to the fake news, saying that he was going to pull back and put a pause on those tariffs. But President Trump says no, he's going full speed ahead, and he is going to stand firm on the equal trade. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll let you get back in. Kara, thank you so much for that report. And as Kara just mentioned, there are protesters outside. Netanyahu was met this morning with protesters outside the White House. It's a rainy, gloomy day there in Washington, D.C. at the nation's capital. Those protesters stood there for hours outside the gates. They arrived this morning and they are still there now. Live at this hour, White House correspondent Allison Steinberg continues our team coverage. She is there live at the White House. Allison, good to see you. What can you tell us?
Okay, there we go.
Good to see you, Vanessa. Thank you. Yes, the protesters are still going strong outside of the White House here. They are still upset about everything pertaining to Prime Minister Netanyahu meeting with Trump today. They want a ceasefire immediately, and they are very upset about, their people apparently being genocided. So they have not ceased their protests since I was out there earlier. They're still going loud and strong, and they, I think, have been at it for hours now. It's very cold, very windy, and they've been making a lot of noise, which we can hear from within the White House gates. So they've been at it for many hours at this point now.
And you walked into this morning when you first arrived outside the White House. The protesters were there. Give us a sense of what it was like. What was the atmosphere like when you arrived and all throughout the day?
It's been quite a bit of, intensity here. The protesters, like I said, there are quite a few of them who are very outraged by what President Trump has done in regards to Israel, as well as Prime Minister Netanyahu joining President Trump today for that meeting. Of course, there's also a lot of press here from the legacy media, mainstream media outlets that show up in mass, particularly on these days when there is a world leader here. So there's a lot going on within the White House gates as well, but just a lot of action, no shortage of, information being passed around here. Everyone has some sort of, narrative they're trying to spin. So it's a lot going on here, but, nothing too crazy. Thankfully, no violence, no, nothing that's not peaceful. So everyone's just contained, but there's quite a bit of, heightened actions going on, loud protesters that are just around this surrounding area out here outside of the White House.
And we want to make mention too, Allison, that this coincides with the protests that we've been seeing for weeks now across the country at college campuses, the same pro-Palestinian protests. Some of those students have been detained due to not following the law. One student we know for sure, one of the organizers, is in the process of being removed from the country because he's here illegally, according to authorities. But as you mentioned, this is a peaceful protest, which we are allowed to do here in America.
Yes, we are. Of course we are. It's our, the beauty of America is that we have the right to peacefully assemble, and we have our First Amendment right, of course, which they are rightfully exercising at this point in time. So, though they have an interesting stance, doesn't mean they don't have the right to get out there and make their voices heard. In fact, I talked to a very interesting guy. He was a Hasidic Jewish man who, interestingly enough, is against what Prime Minister Netanyahu is doing in Israel. I think we have that clip if you want to roll the tape from him.
As Jews, we are hurting with the suffering of the Palestinians. We are humiliated beyond words because it's being done in our name. And I have to add that the attack, the accusation that is being used as a weapon, which they call anti-Semitism, if you oppose them, it's an insult to the Jewish people. That they are not referring to us and asking, is this anti-Semitic? They're just not giving us that respect. And what happens is that it is a crime against us because, secondly, besides the killing of the Palestinians under the auspices of the claim anti-Semitism, they are putting Jews at danger, the ones who are opposition, because when the Zionists, as they go around, they're not religious. They have their nationhood, they walk around, you'll never know they're Jewish.
So a very different perspective there. I actually talked with Kara Castronova, our White House correspondent, who's from New York, the same area in which that man was from. And she said there's quite a few of these Jewish people who are in a similar stance as this. So that was very interesting to me. I'd never heard or seen anything like that. So that was some of the footage that we got from the protests happening outside of the White House.
Well, good job out there today. I know it's been a rowdy day, but we can expect that when a foreign leader comes to the White House, and we appreciate your report. Thank you, Allison.
Thanks so much, Vanessa.
Well, Wall Street is still taking a hit after President Trump's announcement on those tariffs. Taking a look at the big board now, a big arrow downwards on Thursday and Friday. Today, a little better. The market continues to trend downward. Taking a look at Market Watch. This is a live look. Good to report to you. Happy to report to you that I'm looking at NASDAQ right now. It's up 15 points. Just about a half hour ago, it was in the red. NASDAQ up 15 points, still seeing a downward trend for the Dow and S&P 500. So not as bad as we thought. We had some green today across the board for a little while. That changed. But again, the NASDAQ jumping back up to over 15 points at this time. So those are the latest numbers from Market Watch. President Trump offering some hope to Americans, working early this morning as he always does, posting these messages to social media. Let's take a look at the first one. He says oil prices are down, interest rates are down, the slow-moving Fed should cut rates, he says. Food prices are down, there is no inflation. The long-time abused USA is bringing in billions of dollars a week from the abusing countries on tariffs that are already in place, he says. This is despite the fact that the biggest abuser of them all, China, whose markets are crashing, just raised its tariffs by 34% on top of its long-term ridiculously high tariffs, plus not acknowledging my warning for abusing countries not to retaliate. They've made enough for decades, taking advantage of the good old USA, he says. Our past leaders are to blame for allowing this and so much else to happen to our country. Make America great again, he says. In another post, which happens to be my favorite for the day, and probably has been my favorite for a long time. I love all his posts, but this one takes the cake. Take a look. The president says this: the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Here's the part that I love. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't be a Panican. That's a new party based on weak and stupid people, he says. I love it. Be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness will be the result. Here's President Trump's reaction from the White House. If we have that soundbite of President Trump talking about the economy, he's there right now with Benjamin Netanyahu. He was asked about the economy. I believe we have that sound.
Because prices got so high, people couldn't live. I mean, the prices for groceries, the prices for standard groceries, standard things were going through the roof. They couldn't live. And now those prices are coming down. So call them groceries, but that's down, energy's down, and interest rates are down. Everything's down. And the interest rates, the beauty there is when we refinance debt, debt's become such a big factor in this country. We're going to start paying debt off with tariffs and other things. But it's such a big factor because the interest rate's so high. Well, now that's coming way down. So our budget's going to look a lot better because interest costs are way down. And I guess I've done that.
And now is a good time, as ever, to invest in gold and silver. We want to remind you that with the economy, over the past 4 years, you've probably had to dip into your savings. So we recommend our friends over at Fisher Gold. The national debt has skyrocketed from the last 4 years under the Biden administration. Many of you have had to use your savings. Protect yourself with gold and silver. It could help you. Secure your wealth today. Don't wait. Go to MikeLindellGold.com. MikeLindellGold.com. Representatives are waiting to hear from you right now. They're a conservative company, experts who want to help you with your future. That is MikeLindellGold.com. And don't go anywhere. When we come back, Mike Lindell joins us with Maha Mike on how to live healthy. It's the best gift that you can give yourself. Also, we sit down with Mike Crispy, Trump delegate for New Jersey, on the efforts to flip Jersey red. That's all coming up right here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. You know, I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets.
I'm interrupting this commercial to do something I've never done before. Get 2 MyPillows absolutely free on orders of $100 or more. I can't do this forever, so get on board with this great sale today. Our best-selling 6-piece bath towel sets or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Our famous standard MyPillows, only $14.98. Queens, $18.98. King size, only $1 more. Body pillows, $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color. So go to MyPillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And when you spend $100 or more, get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. And it's going to be a great show because I am very excited about this one particular product that we have here. But I'm here with Michael Dillon. He's the inventor and founder of airwaterhealing.com. Michael, I'm going to tell you this. I know it's been I think it's been about a month since I got one of your V3 air purifiers. Now, I requested to come on and do this show. I don't know if you know that. I said, I got to do a show about this. We put it in my house here. We have a pretty big house here, and my wife, who is so particular of things, about, things in the air, germs, pollutants, all about health. And it was a game changer. And I mean, we noticed right away. It was amazing. I know in fact, I want to get 3 more, and I'm going to buy them, everybody. I'm looking at 3 more. These are the most amazing purifiers. I want to say a couple things before I let you talk. I set it up. One of the things I want to compliment you on is not only does it work, it's a game changer, but it's the easiest device I think I've ever. I was going to get the manual and all this stuff, and it was like click, click, turn, turn, done. I mean, I pulled it out of the box. I mean, it was just amazing. And then I'm going to be honest. We have our niece and nephew. They have a place not far from here, and they had some mold problems. They were tearing some walls down and doing some other things. And we were out of town. I said, you know what? I got an idea. Run and get this purifier. I didn't have to train them how to use it. I said, the remote's right by it. Go unplug it. It's easy to do. Just click, click. And it was amazing. They noticed the difference. They were tearing down walls. I mean, it's just amazing. And it reminded me, I used to have a bar I had many bars back in the day in my addiction years. And we had something, maybe it was something like that it was an air purifier, and that there, I remember that, but I never knew where I could get something similar, and that thing worked. This takes it to another level, and I mean, we had that in the bar. This is back in smoking days and all kinds of stuff, and this brought that to another level, and it actually had I don't know. I'm just very excited because I get behind products that work, and this works. And I just want to compliment you. And can you, so you can take it from there. I wanted to put that in our opening up, and where you know, why is this thing so different, and so why does it work so great?
Well, thank you, Mike, for that. And the testimony that you just gave us, that's what we hear all over the country. Wherever we go, I do the Minneapolis, the Minnesota State Fair. People will walk up to us and be like, "I've had your machine for 10 years and it changed my life." And I'm like, I don't even have to sell this. I was like, can I just record you say that? Right. We put it on, put it on Frank's speech, put it on Lendell TV. Let's just share the word. Most of the air purifier companies out there, Mike, why they fail is because they're relying on using the filter, right? So the filter is what they're trying to sell you. They want to sell you a subscription. With the V3, there is no need to use a filter because we're duplicating what Mother Nature did, what God did, right? God doesn't make mistakes. So when you start looking at these chemical fires going across the country, releasing dioxins, and dioxins can lead to cancer, mold, like you said, you had a family member with a mold issue. Mold's not the scary thing. It's the mycotoxins. Those are the little tiny particulates that are reached into the air. So our machine is smart enough to send out a proactive technology that's going out and it's eliminating these viral loads, bacteria, dust, pollen from floating around in the air, while also cleaning the air and sanitizing the spaces. So like your wife, if she really likes knowing that there's no germs in the house, the things that maybe she forgot to wipe down, your doorknobs, the machine is proactively going out and it's doing that 24 hours a day. And you're talking about 38.5 years of science. Our chief technology officer, the guy's incredible. He's smarter than the 3 smartest people that I know.
Right. I want to say this to everybody. You can actually read the difference. I mean, I don't want to say it's like a cleanse smell. It's like a cleanse. It smells clean. And I can say it. I would say that to anyone. You can actually feel the difference, smell the difference, the cleanness of the air. And I want to say this. I didn't believe when it said, there were things I didn't believe are there. I'm going, okay, if we put it out here, I'm actually, this room I'm looking at where I'm pointing to, you can't see it on camera. We actually put it up there and said, put it up a little higher, on a shelf. We put it up there and turned it. Now the bedroom and the other rooms, it did the whole house. And and once again, simplicity. Here's a little dial. You want to go up to this many square foot, this many square foot. It really did go to the other parts of the house. I couldn't, and then I thought, well, is it going to be more in this bit than in the other one? Do I have to move it around? I don't believe you do. I could tell by the cleansing it or smelling the air. You have that. At first, I thought, it's not going to bring it to there, but we notice a difference in every single room, and I'm excited. I'm not just saying this because I'm saying because I love the product and it's amazing. It works, and I want to interject there, everybody.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say what you're talking about is the proactive technology. So when you're pointing into that room, I know the audience can't see it, but when you put the machine up on a bookshelf or put it up on, in your living room or dining room, even if you had it on a bookcase, I'm going to share something with you pretty special. Not a lot of people get to see this. I'm going to demo for you what the machine is actually doing inside of your house. So Mike, let me know if you can see that. That's our box right there. And I'm going to show you guys bipolar ionization. So what happens is when the machine is sitting in a single room, most of the air purifiers that are out there, they need the dust, the pollen, or the dander to come to the back of the filter. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate what Mother Nature does. So when lightning strikes, right, it's creating a large amounts of millions of negative ions that are going throughout the atmosphere. And inside of your home, we're releasing that same charge. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the 2 antennas that are in there, and I'm going to vibrate for you at a rate of speed. Watch how quickly this happens. So my mom calls it the ray of death, right? When you open up your blinds and you can see the dust, pollen, dander, and all that stuff floating around. I'm going to flip on these two antennas and watch how quickly it vibrates the air and starts to drop it down to the ground as a biologically inert substance. So you're not having to breathe this stuff in. And all of those particles that you're breathing in that are leading to allergies, asthma, bronchitis, emphysema, or even worse, something like a dioxin that can kill you and lead to lung cancer. You know, when you think about radon, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. And that's why it's so important to have the V3 with our PCO technology that is sending out these hydrogen peroxide of what's known as a hydroxyl. It does it in a vapor form. So we're cleansing the air without you having to think about cleaning the air.
Yeah. And it works, everybody. 100% it works. You can see I was so passionate to do this, everybody. And by the way, go to airwaterhealing.com right now. Is there a promo code Lindell, right? We use that promo code. Can they use a promo code there?
Yes, not only can they do the promo code, but we're going to include that for not only the large machine that does the whole house, which is the V3, but we just launched last year the portable Go unit, which is great for the car. You could put that in the car and the same exact clean air that you're getting in your house, Mike, we can do that in every car or hotel anywhere in the country. And they can do that, which is the Go, which has a battery backup, or my favorite is the hotel unit. So when I head to CPAC next week, I want to make sure that the room that I'm staying in is cleaned, because I've stayed in some pretty nice places, but if the hotel has dirty air, you're not going to have a good weekend. So you could plug this guy in. It's the first thing that I plug into my hotel, and it's the last thing that I pack before I leave the hotel. I always leave the empty box in my suitcase so I don't forget it and leave it.
Now, I'm just hearing this, everybody, and if my wife's in the other room and she hears this, we do a lot of traveling, and the hotels. Now let's see, my order's getting up now. I want 3 of the big ones. I want 4 of the hotel ones, 4 of the car ones. No, I didn't know this, everybody. This technology works. You can feel it there. You can breathe it. We felt great in the morning. That's what we noticed in the morning when we got up from sleeping and was like, wow. And even I don't know how it affects sleep, but it sure affected ours, where it was, I got a My Pillow. I'm going, okay, this brought it to a whole new level of feeling good in the morning and feeling good throughout the day. And all about that breathing. I like that demo you just did. I've stayed in so many hotels. They say, well, there's no smoking in hotels anymore. I've been in many rooms where I told somebody did, right? Or you got this, who knows what's in the room, and cars too. I didn't know you had this. This is a big surprise to me. Now I'm going to take it to a whole new level, but the next time we go on, I'm going to get these. I'm going to tell you all about my travels, because yes, I'm going to CPAC. I mean, you're going to have to be overnighting me some. I'm going to be at CPAC, everybody, and we're going to be with Lindell TV, and I can't thank Michael enough here with that. I'm going to tell everyone too, when we get sponsors here at Lindell TV that make all this possible for our voice expanding now in these times we need it the most. And by the way, everybody, we have 2 new White House correspondents. One we on Capitol Hill, one at the White House every day. When I talk to the president, and she's right out there with your Fox Newses, everybody, and all this new programming we have. And what we plan on doing is made possible by great sponsors. And I don't just get behind the product or whatever. I get behind not just the product, which I have to use and I have to love it, but also the people behind the product. I'm the company behind the product. And I'll tell you, Michael, since I met you're just an awesome inventor, founder, and it's a problem solution, everybody. And it's a big problem solution. And I love that, products that are made to solve problems. And not only, I don't know a purifier out there that's like this. I was so happy. I go, wow, it was so easy to plug in and use. I can't imagine the hotel one when you just plug it in and you're set, huh? And they, you know what though? I'm gonna warn you, Michael, on that. People are gonna buy so many of these now, And what's going to happen is they used to do to My Pillow. They would forget their My Pillows in the hotel rooms, so I'd be getting calls. I need another My Pillow, because what you're going to find, everybody, is you can't. Once you use one of these purifiers, you're not going to go without it. And I'm so happy you just said that you have the car and the hotel one, because, like I say, we let our nephew and niece use ours. We let them use ours, and our nephew and his wife, and they because they had problems with their house with mold and other issues as they were tearing walls down. And boy, you should hear their. I'd like to get them on for a testimony. I mean, they were there. I thought my wife was a testimony. These guys are going, wow, what a difference! And they have two little kids, two little babies, and it's just made a difference. That's, we can now be comforted that they're not breathing all this anything that's going to make them sick or hurt their health. But that's why, since it's been about a week ago, I guess, when we let them use ours, and I don't have it back yet. I don't think they're giving it back. So, like I say, my personal order is getting up there. But it's gonna be one of those things. Where you like that. I'm so glad, because that was going to be one of my questions. What, do you have anything smaller? I was going to say smaller that I could bring with me to hotels, because I'm not kidding.
And there it is.
I even told my wife, I was going to tell my wife, we got to bring this thing. It's so easy to use. We can pack it in our thing, but now you've solved that problem. Wow, that is amazing. Now, did you have these? Have you had these for a while, the hotel ones and the car ones, or you just came out with them?
We've had the hotel one for a long time. We launched the car one right around the time that COVID happened, and it was absolutely incredible what we were getting. And it's beautiful when you have, like, Uber drivers and taxi drivers say, hey, I've had this little mini, the little Go unit in my car for 6 months, and my other drivers that I'm friends with have gotten sick 4 times. I haven't gotten sick once. And, when you talk about the mold aspect, Dr. Gary Rosen, who's one of the leading mold experts in the state of Florida, he's a biochemist from UCLA. He tested our machine and he was like, Michael, I have never seen anything like this. He goes, everybody needs one of these V3s in their home. And I said, why? And he goes, you can have 277 problems. He goes, until you have a health problem. And then you only have one problem. Everything else fades away. And he goes, so many serious illnesses are directly linked to polluted indoor air. And he said the government has made it their purpose to make sure, not this new government, but we're talking about the old government, okay? Our houses have been making us sick because we've been sealed in. And that is not what Jesus wanted for us. Jesus did not want us sitting in our houses breathing in toxic chemicals. He wants us to prosper and to be so healthy. So at airwaterhealing.com, we came up with the most proactive air purifier in the world. And Mike, your voice isn't alone. I do shows all over the country. People will walk up to me and say, Mike, I own 3 hair salons and a nail salon. We put your machine in, and our customers come in and are like, did you guys stop doing acrylics? Did you stop using bleaches and ammonias? It is absolutely a game changer when you plug the V3 in your home and you start breathing clean air the way that you were meant to be, without a subscription to filters. There's virtually no maintenance, very energy efficient. It will happen for your viewers, the same experience that you and your wife are having. Everybody's going to experience that. That's why, our repeat orders are incredible. Like your niece and nephew that had that issue with mold with young kids in the house. That's what happens. You loan somebody the machine, they don't give it back.
If they don't give it back, it's just very similar to when I invented My Pillow, and that was the first problem out of the gate. I want to tell everyone, any of you out there, anyone that has a car, but anybody that has a car, or all you Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, I get so tired of getting in your vehicles and you got those little trees hanging from the mirror there, those little Christmas tree looking things that make me want to vomit themselves, right? Get rid of all that stuff instead of having masks for all the stuff floating around your car that just masks the smell or disguise it. Why not purify the air? And I'm telling you, it is a game changer, and it is this is a product. I'm not just 90%. I'm 110% all in. I've used it. There's nothing better I've ever used. I compared, like I said, I had to compare it back in the 90s when I had my bar and we had a purification thing, and there was no filters on it. It was very kind of probably a dinosaur technology, but it did work somewhat. You actually felt the difference. I didn't, believe in stuff then, but wow, you can actually tell the difference. This is like that on steroids. It's like you notice right away. This isn't something you have to use and say, well, you know what, it's going to benefit your health, but you're never going to know what it's really doing. You can feel it. And I'm telling you that, at least I know from my experience, my wife and I, and my nephew over there with you can feel it. You can, it's a breath, hold it, I got it. It's a breath of fresh air. How's that, everybody?
Oh, man.
It's a breath of fresh air. We have a product that works, and it helps your health, and a great inventor, founder, friend of the station, a great sponsor. Everybody, this is a win-win-win for everybody. You're helping Lindell TV. You're helping yourself get the best you can be with your air. And I need everyone to go to airwaterhealing.com, promo code Lindell. And I don't put my name on stuff that doesn't work. This stuff works. I'm gonna get you guys get the car ones, get the hotel ones, but you get the first one. Once you use one in your house, you won't want to leave home without it. So this is a big surprise to me. I'm going to be shopping today. I'm going to be filling up. And what gifts, you guys that have them out there, you heard it now. If you had one, you get, what grace gifts. The gift of health, the gift of health, the gift of health. So, Michael, thanks again. I can't wait to tell you my experience with the one that in the hotels and the cars, because I'm going to get them in our next show. We'll have to talk about them. So everybody, once again, airwaterhealing.com. Get it now. I've never believed in a product so much since my pillow. This is just amazing. So, but thank you, Michael.
Yeah. No problem. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And anybody in California, just take Mike's recommendation. Buy it now. Anyone who was exposed to those dioxins, and thank you for Lindell TV. I love our new segment that we're doing, Maha with Mike. We had a guy on today, Mike, who was talking about the dioxins and what it's doing for infertility in the United States.
Right.
And if you go and research the photocatalytic oxidation, PCO technology that's inside of our V3, it's one of the only things we've seen that can help break down dioxins. How incredible is that?
Wow, that is incredible. Well, everybody, get them now, get healthy. And I'm going to come on your show. We're here on Lindell TV. I'm going to come on every host show. We're going to have this huge launch. Remember, everybody, we are public now. We are, the call letters FSBN is soon going to be changed to Mike Lindell Media Corp. But right now, we're a publicly traded company, and we're building our voice, and we're so glad to have your show on our network, Michael, and your great products. Well, you're a win-win-win for us. So thank you, and God bless.
God bless. Thank you, guys.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets.
I'm interrupting this commercial to do something I've never done before. Get 2 MyPillows absolutely free on orders of $100 or more. I can't do this forever, so get on board with this great sale today. Our best-selling 6-piece bath towel sets or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Our famous standard MyPillows only $14.98. Queens $18.98. King size only $1 more. Body pillows $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bed sheet sets. Any size, any color. So go to mypillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And when you spend $100 or more, get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
Welcome back to the Mike Lindell Show. I am Vanessa Broussard. We've been talking a lot about Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel visiting the White House today, but don't let it overshadow who visited this morning. The champions of baseball, the Los Angeles Dodgers, they met with the president. Take a look. Lots of cameras out, lots of smiles as President Trump stood in front of the team and spoke to them, congratulating them on their big championship win. In fact, pitcher Clayton Kershaw even presented President Trump with a 47 jersey. But of course, it was President Trump who stole the show. It's trending all over social media right now. He always takes the stage and steals the show. Take a listen.
And others, we have a couple of senators here. I just don't particularly like them, so I won't introduce. Over the course of this amazing season, the members of this team I didn't think it was that big a deal, actually. Washington.
You gotta love President Trump. What's on his mind is on his lips. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Also, this weekend was a heartfelt anniversary for the Vance family. The vice president's mother celebrated 10 years of sobriety. J.D. Vance posting these beautiful family photos as they celebrated at the White House. Congratulations to her and the entire family. The vice president wrote this: "Mom, I am so proud of you," and we all are. All right, taking a quick recap of what's going on Capitol Hill at this hour. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is still at the White House having a joint press conference with President Trump. President Trump, before the Prime Minister visited today, put this out on Truth Social. I know I've showed it to you, but I want to show it to you one more time because it's the theme of our show. It's trending all over social media. It's my favorite of the day. He says the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't be a panican. That word is probably the most used words on X right now. Don't be a panican. That's a new party based on weak and stupid people. You know, President Trump once said on the campaign trail, the demise of our democracy is stupid people, and they belong in the Panican party. According to President Trump, be strong, be courageous, patient, and greatness will be the result, he says. And he may be mentioning the market. If you look at Wall Street right now, the numbers are still down with the Dow and the S&P 500, but the NASDAQ is back in the green. Looking at live numbers right now, up 15 points. According to Market Watch, President Trump is in that press briefing right now. He did speak about the tariffs just moments ago. Let's take a listen.
I will say this, virtually every country wants to negotiate. If I didn't do what I did over the last couple of weeks, you wouldn't have anybody wants to negotiate. We would have gone to these countries, you want to talk? And they were, well, we don't want to talk. Now they're coming to us. They're offering things like even Bibi, and this is unrelated because it's a different kind of a relationship, but he started off our conversation today that he's cutting all of the tariffs, he's cutting everything, he's going to get down to a free base, he's going to do things that, in all fairness, other countries, if they said that, would have never even thought about doing it. Now they're offering things to us that we would have never even thought of asking them for because they're experiencing a lot of hurt. And the hurt is that they've taken advantage of us and we finally fought back. Tariffs will make this country very rich. We're rich anyway, but we're rich in a certain way. We have $36 trillion in debt. I want to get rid of it. And we can do it quickly with proper deals. So when countries don't allow us to sell our product, but we allow them to sell their product, when they charge us massive amounts of money for the privilege of going into their country, those days are over.
Those days are over, and he's absolutely right. It has not been a fair trade for so many years, and that's what he's trying to do, even the playing field, and make it fair for all countries. He did say this, quote, "It would be nice to serve a nice, easy term, but we have an opportunity to change the fabric of our country. He goes on to say we have an opportunity to reset the table on trade. I don't mind going through it because I see a beautiful picture at the end. And as we mentioned earlier, China has fought back, as we thought that they would. Here's what President Trump had to say about that.
Do you expect any of these deals to be made before April 9th? And secondly, there have been some mixed messages from your administration. You're talking about negotiations, and yet others in your administration are saying that these tariffs are actually permanent. What is that?
Well, it could be. They can both be true. There can be permanent tariffs, and there can also be negotiations, because there are things that we need beyond tariffs. We need open borders. You know, we almost had a deal with China where we're going to open up China. It was almost done. Some of you remember it during my first term, and it was very disappointing. We ended up making a great deal. $50 billion worth of product was sold. $50 billion. You'd like that in Israel. And I made that deal, but it wasn't the deal that I wanted. It was the deal that I wanted was that, plus they were going to open up China so that our companies could go into China and compete with other countries and China for for a large number of people. And at the very end, that deal was terminated, and we went to a piece of the deal. And so there are a lot of things outside of tariffs, but tariffs are very important. But there are a lot of things like opening up countries that were totally closed. China is essentially a closed country. In fact, it is a closed country. And what they do is they charge tariffs so that if you sell cars or if you sell anything, nobody's going to buy it because the price is out of control. But that's true with a lot of other countries also. So we're going to get fair deals and good deals with every country, and if we don't, we're going to have nothing to do with them. They're not going to be allowed to participate in the United States.
The Secretary of Treasury responded on X today, talking about China imposing a higher tariff on the United States. He says this: China has chosen to isolate itself by retaliating and doubling down on previous negative behavior. Over 50 countries have responded both openly and positively to the President of the United States' historic action to create a fairer, more prosperous system of global trade. We look forward to meaningful negotiations with them over the coming weeks. Again, that's coming from the Secretary of Treasury, mentioning that over 50 countries have already reached out to President Trump. And that's a good news right there. I think one of the biggest items coming out of the meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is Israel eliminating the trade deficit altogether. That's a huge announcement. That's big, and that's very good for Israel and the United States. Take a listen to this.
I can tell you that I said to the president a very simple thing. We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily. And I think Israel can serve as a model for many countries who ought to do the same. I recognize the position of the United States. It says, we're allowing other countries to put tariffs on us, but we don't put tariffs on them. And, I'm a free trade champion, and free trade has to be fair trade. And I think that's basically the position that you have put forward, Mr. President. We are going to eliminate the tariffs, and rapidly.
And there you go. Thank you, Benjamin Netanyahu, for that. Hopefully other countries follow suit. You can follow more on today's big meeting between President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu on LindellTV.com. Also, make sure you're following us on X, on Vocal, on Truth Social, Instagram, Facebook. We're there. Make sure you give us a follow. But LindellTV.com has your very latest. You can also watch us live coverage, read all the latest articles, and much more on LindellTV.com. And as we close out the show today, Mike Lindell and his employees want to personally thank you for your continued support of My Pillow. They have a big allotment of their bed sheets that were earmarked for the box stores this spring. Well, the box stores did it again. Those box stores didn't come through, so they're going to pass those savings on to you. So now there's no middleman. You get these great deals. All you have to do is go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Lindell, or you can call 1-800-859-2879 and speak to a representative. If you don't want to order online, you can order over the phone. Again, that number is 1-800-859-2879. So many great deals. Oh, look at there. That's new. Energy drinks. I wish we could go back to that one if we can. That's brand new. The first time I've seen it here. I know we've talked about it. There you go. Save 30%. Oh, check that out. I'm going to have to check it out after the show. We've been talking about it, and now it is up online. Go check that out right now. Save big. Use the promo code Lindell. I'm just as excited as everyone is right now to see that up on the website. I'm going to have to check it out ASAP. Again, use the promo code Lindell, mypillow.com. Free shipping options are available. This allotment won't last long when those bed sheets and pillows that are on sale at wholesale prices are gone. They are gone, so don't wait. As you know, the early bird gets the worm, so make sure you jump in early, cash in. Great deals, great products. I actually have on my slippers right now. Never took them off from this morning at my house. I came in to work with them on, and they're still on. They're that comfortable. Happy shopping, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Mike Lindell Show. I'm Vanessa Broussard. Always a pleasure to have you here with us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a great evening, America.
You ever see this guy with the pillows on Fox? My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell. He is the greatest. The My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell. And he's been with us right from the beginning.